Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Dover residents stage protests over electricity restoration. Stop spreading mischief. JLP responds to comments by opposition leader on Integrity Commission report. And in sports, West Indies suffer heavy defeat to England in first test at Lord's. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shane Masters and here are the details. There was a fiery protest in Dover St. Mary this morning as residents say they are at their wits' end with what they deem as a slow pace of restoration work by the Jamaica Public Service. But the JPS is promising an end to their misery soon. Nakinski Robinson reports.
Me a fear sleep naked at night time to me at 1 week now no light. At you me a come a road me put on the frack. So me Sunday I'll know he's still in a shorts. Me a fear cook me food early at the evening time because me no want eat mosquito and fly.
That's just the story of one of the residents in Dover St. Mary. And it's not peculiar to her alone or to that section of the island. The pain follows the passage of Hurricane Beryl, which has left the Light and Power Company carrying out extensive work on its systems to bring back the hundreds of thousands of Jamaicans on the national grid. But despite their efforts, residents have grown frustrated. It's why as early as a Friday morning, residents in Dover lit tires and used other debris to stage a protest. They have been out of the service for over 1 week.
You see, at night time, you can't even put your hand out the door, you can't even see your own hand.
We understand, say, government is trying to put the light back on the main. We're on the main. We have to go to work. We things now fridge must spoil. Like 10 days. 10 days, today make 10 days and there's no light and nobody said anything to us. And the problem is it's not that major where poles are done or nothing like that. It's a simple wire need to be reattached.
My son all afraid at night time because I'm afraid of forcing my witness there something. So JPS no need to come do something better. Me tired for fun. A cardboard me have to use at night time a fan. Me tired.
For them, security is of a major concern.
From the other day, a peer killing a go on here, so we're not safe none time at all. So we want the light as urgent, so we are called upon JPS.
They're just getting very dangerous. And I have my kids, them, I have my son, I have my children, them. So I need the light, JPS, I need the light. JPS is Jamaica people stress. We want stress, we want light today.
Media and Public Relations Manager at JPS, Audrey Williams, says a team from the power provider was on location and spoke with the residents. They have committed to restoring power to that area within the next 24 to 48 hours. Nakinski Robinson, TVJ News.
And in St. Catherine, the proceedings of the Municipal Corporation meeting was cut short following a power outage. Mayor Norman Scott was chairing the proceedings when Councillor Fenley Douglas raised a motion for the removal of jackets due to the unbearable heat. The motion was accepted and discussions addressing recovery plans from Hurricane Beryl for the parish were summarized and will be further addressed at another meeting. Renewed calls this afternoon for Jamaicans to be extra vigilant when using candles as a source of light. It comes following the destruction of a dwelling by fire in poorest Manchester on Wednesday morning. 7 persons were left homeless as a result. Councillor for the Poorest Division, Claudia Morant Baker, says while she has made efforts to provide kerosene oil to people within her division, most residents do not have lamps.
Put it in glasses that are not easily caught on fire. Nothing that can catch on fire. Don't put it in areas that it has risk. Because of that, 6 residents are without a dwelling house today, only because of using the candle and placing it at the wrong place. So that's a concern I have right across the division. So I'm encouraging persons, please take the necessary precaution to save yourself, your family, and your lives.
In the meantime, the councillor says only 2 areas within her division, the lower section of St. Tulis and a section of the Poorest Main Road, have been reconnected to the national grid.
Most poles are down along the Harmons Road, along the top St. Tulis roads. Most poles are down. But I'm expecting the commodity to return as quick as possible because I know JPS is working really hard on it.
Deputy General Secretary of the Jamaica Labour Party, Senator Charles Sinclair, is accusing President of the People's National Party, Mark Golding, of misleading and spreading mischief. This after Mr. Golding issued a statement indicating that neither PNP parliamentarians nor senators are under investigation by the Integrity Commission for illicit enrichment. In a release, Mr. Sinclair said it's virtually impossible for the PNP president to state with any certainty that no parliamentarian on his side is under probe. He said, as far as he is aware, the commission does not, as a matter of practice, write to individuals and state specifically that they are under probe for illicit enrichment. He added that the PNP president should desist from continuing to spread mischief in what Mr. Sinclair says is his apparent desperate bid for political power. The St. James Municipal Corporation could be looking at millions of dollars to repair a damaged bridge in the parish. This after far from cleanup efforts ahead of the hurricane season damaged a plastic culvert, which led to the collapse of a section of the bridge. Details in this report. It's a rush against time to get this bridge, which joins the Cornwall Courts and other surrounding communities, to downtown Montego Bay fixed. The damage has left some 30,000 residents inconvenienced. They have also had to dig deeper into their pockets for fares, as taxi operators have imposed increases because the new route home has now become longer and it's also in a state of disrepair. Member of Parliament for Central St. James, Hugh Clark, says the bridge was damaged before Hurricane Beryl.
Residents were cleaning the area along with the work that we were doing, and somebody would have gone and lit a fire. The fire got out of control and burned the plastic tubing that we used to create the culvert across the roadway. And so we are left without a bridge per se.
Chairman of the St. James Municipal Corporation, Richard Vernon, says its assessment has been completed.
We will treat it as an emergency and we will be mobilizing the funds as soon as we identify it, as quickly as possible, to restore this roadway so persons can utilize.
It will also be done at a cost of $13 million, which we are mobilizing. But at this time, I beg and beseech and crave and all the words that would allude to the patience of the persons who are utilizing that thoroughfare, because we have to ensure that it is done properly.
And with the new academic year to begin in approximately 8 weeks, this commitment from Mr. Vernon.
We will be working on it to be completed in no later than about 8 weeks or so. So we'll work in conjunction with the Member of Parliament once we identify the funding, which we'll be working on immediately, and also the estimates and the necessary design and everything that needs to be put in place to facilitate the rehabilitation. Once we have completed that, which we'll be working on immediately during the course of this week, then the work will start shortly after that. So no more than 8 weeks, and of course it will be ready for the hectic September back to school period.
Residents of Hillrun in St. Catherine have had it up to their necks literally following Hurricane Beryl and the tropical wave over the weekend. Now, as Jamaica Maitland reports, not even water boots could have helped them.
Water boots do not serve any major purpose here, according to residents of Hillrun in St. Catherine. It's not uncommon for them to forego their shoes, roll up their pants and set aside their pride after periods of heavy rainfall. Last weekend's rainfall, however, was something they were not used to.
When you come in the rainfall, nobody can drive on the scheme, you know. People have to park on the road with their vehicle at the mercy of crooks and guard have them around here. And this is why I say government is what you call those short-sighted and behind time. Because you don't wait until crime commit in a community like this before you start do something.
Hillrun is predominantly a farming community, but there is a growing residential population. The community association says there's about 1,500 people living here. The issue, they say, is that it lacks political representation.
This is a peaceful and quiet community where you have people who want to come here and spending good money. All we need is representation. And yet we have mayor, we have MPs, we have all type of people. But we have been forgotten.
Marooned by the floodwaters, we spoke to a resident by phone who lives on Maho Drive.
So from when you are maroon inside?
Well, from the storm blow and no light either. We don't have no light.
People's National Party caretaker for St. Catherine Southwestern, Kirk Matthews, was in the community.
These drains, this is not something that is new. This is something that happens every single time the rain falls. I knew this was going to happen up to the night of the announcement, right? I couldn't sleep the night, Sir Parker,
so true.
Because I knew this was going to happen.
So
and
true.
it surprised me.
So
now almost 5 days, and no one has presented themselves. 5 days after. No agency, none of the elected representatives, and the community is under siege.
The residents say neglected stormwater drains and the town gully that takes water from Spanish Town are their biggest concerns.
So we'd like, a better drainage. They clean the drain because if the water is coming from Spanish Town, come down here, down here is like Riverton City dump. We don't want that again. We want something good. And because we always vote and them tell you we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and they don't do anything.
Jamila Maitland, TVJ News.
And it's time for a break. Stay with us, more stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. Mayor of Port Maria, Fitzroy Wilson, says the municipality will be cautious in its spending for the next quarter of the financial year. Mr. Wilson made the pronouncement at the recent sitting of the Municipal Corporation monthly meeting.
Our PRF earnings, we are looking that it is going to be less because you would have looked at the issue with the electricity, and that the electricity outage would have somewhat hampered our economy in the natural earnings that we would have had. So burial would have come, burial would have left us, but it left with us lots of expenses and lots of people grieving.
He's imploring the councillors to seek help from the various agencies in an effort to assist affected residents.
It will be upon us basically now for our own source revenue. And I'm going to take this opportunity in our council meeting to stress on all departments of the Municipal Corporation that we have to tackle this together. It's not you and I. It's not us and them. It is us together.
And it's now time for the Business Minute. Pharmaceutical distribution company R.A. Williams is looking to raise 400 million Jamaican dollars on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. The company's prospectus was published on the JC's website on Wednesday. 400 million shares are on offer at a cost of $1 per unit. 190 million shares are being reserved for employees and key strategic partners. Once successful, the company is looking to list on the JSE's junior market. Investors must purchase a minimum 1,000 shares with increments of 100 thereafter. The offer opens on July 17 and is set to run until July 31. Sagicor Investments is the lead arranger and broker. And in the US, prices fell in June for the first time since early in the pandemic. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, consumer prices dropped 0.1% on a monthly basis. That brought the annual inflation rate down to 3% from 3.3% in May. Falling gas prices and lower new and used car prices led the overall decline. This marks the first month-on-month decline since May 2020. And that's it for the Business Minute. Time now and we head to a quick break. When we come back, Jeremy and Brown will have your midday sports report.